And they hate to hear it, but we're back. This is a time shared. I'm Charbel Milan. Today we got
Tim Soak.
Tim Soak in the building. Man, we've been anticipating this one ever since we talked to Chidi, ever since we heard part one of what's been going on here at NspireMe and you guys' lives, and ultimately the entire plan to get out here and change people's way of thinking and allow them to reach their goals. So, what I like to do just starting off is I like to just give everyone a quick platform, just introduce themselves, just the basic things you feel like everyone should know.
Absolutely. Pleasure being here. Thank you for the invite. My name is Tim Soak. I'm an undergraduate junior at Georgia State University studying entrepreneurship. And I am a co-founder of Inspire. We are a digital accountability app that helps people achieve their goals by providing them accountability, resources, and organizational tools.
Okay. Look, Tim, when this podcast was started, when the idea even came to me, I had people like you in mind. People that I've known have always been out here innovating, pushing, and trying to find something different. And not necessarily in a selfish way, like, yourself, you're starting an app, you're trying to inspire other people, but just all around positive thinkers. You know what I mean? Like, shit, you showed up 5 minutes early, those kind of things. You know what I mean? So just even going back from before Inspire Me, before the intellectual collaboration with Chidi, because, everyone that comes to listen, we like to refer to ourselves as intellectual collaborators here on A Time Shared. So before the intellectual collaboration, where did it all start? Was it that you were having issues in your life that you fixed and said, hey, wait a minute, I came to these realizations on how to fix my own problems, someone else needs this? Or was it kind of like all happened on its own?
So like the beginning.
Before everything.
Okay.
Before everything.
It's a long story, but I am absolutely. I am a son of two immigrant parents. I'm a first generation American from Cambodia. And I saw my mother work very hard throughout my life. She would wake up at 5 a.m., actually 4:30 a.m. Jeez. And she would go to work until about 2:30, and she would have to drive an hour home. So she'll get back home about 4. And then she would clean and cook for all of us. She was always working. And I kind of always had that mentality of like work ethic built into me. And I think it attributes a lot to my mother's mentality. So that's just a fundamental part of me. I enjoy working hard for things that I want. And ultimately, I became conscious of my ability to manifest anything around 15 years old. I was with, in high school.
Okay.
Yes. So I was with my friend Tariq Achinif. A shout out to him. He's a good friend of mine from high school. And we were going to Steak and Shake. Our waiter came over to us and he said, I can see something in you. He was basically like just chatting with me, and he was basically like saying, if you think about something for 7 seconds, it will happen. And I was like super confused on what he was talking about. And then he told me about the law of attraction. He told me about like just the basic fundamentals of it. He didn't tell me like too much. He kind of let me be more curious, but he basically said like I have something in me that is untapped potential. I was like, and from there I had like, bruh, I tell you, when I was riding home in Tariq's car, I felt like my spine tingling. It was really, really like crazy because that's the most one of the most vivid memories from my past is just like my spine tingling in the car, just like I feel like something big is happening. So I go home. And the type of personality I am, I'm a type A personality. I'm very obsessive I get obsessed over like things a lot. Like
just anything.
I can just dive into things and just like figure out like anything. Like when I played video games a lot before I was 15. Like that was kind of addicted to video games. I always wanted to be best. I was like competitive. I would look up YouTube videos on how to do this, how to do that. So that just like that ability to get obsessed with something was always in me as well. And to work hard. So it's a combination of those two. So he tells me about this law of attraction stuff. Like, I go home, I do some research. I'm like, shit, this is pretty cool. So like you can like manage. I was pretty naive back then too. I'm still naive. But it was basically you can manifest anything you want if you put out that thought and then put out the action. I was like, okay, that sounds simple enough. Let me try to implement this into my life. First thing I tried to implement, I actually tried to join the JV lacrosse team as a junior,
Damn.
and I failed.
Okay.
I failed at it. I didn't get in, and that hurt me. But I used that as a bounce pad to channel my energy into something I wanted to manifest in myself, and that's my fitness. So when I was 15, I don't know if you knew me when I was 15.
I mean, we knew of each other,
Yeah.
but we didn't know each other.
Yes. So I was like 110 to 115 pounds.
Jeez.
Yeah, I was scrawny. Like,
How tall were you?
5'7", 5.
Well, that's not horrible, but that's on the
No,
lower
bro.
end.
Like I was.
You didn't like how you looked.
Yeah, bro. I looked like a steak, like anorexic. And at that moment, I realized, like, okay, like I can implement this philosophy into my life, and it can start with this. I can see how this will grow. So every day I would just look at YouTube videos, like I did with video games. Like I look up a YouTube video on video games, how to improve. I would just look up YouTube videos on how to be better at fitness and how to, achieve my goals in the fitness realm. And I would get obsessed over it. And inch by inch, I started doing the things I need to do to grow. So I started working out 6 days a week, like strictly 6 days a week. I started doing the right exercises. If I didn't know how to do them, I would look them up. I would find the motivation to go. I would stretch. I would do all of that. And I would also, this is a big part because I'm an ectomorph, which is someone who has a high metabolism, can eat a lot. I ran cross country too. So like, you know what I'm saying?
I've been struggling my whole life to find that word. Yeah. That's the word.
I eat a lot, but that metabolism would just like, it will burn the fat. So I had to eat 3,000 plus calories a day for 2 years. I did this for 2 years. I worked out 6 days a week and ate 3,000 calories a day for 2 years. I would eat until I almost threw up. Like,
jeez.
It's obsessive. But I grew to 145 pounds in 2 years.
That's of pure muscle.
Yeah, pure muscle.
Wow.
And I have like transformation pictures. It's really cool.
Wow.
But the lesson I learned from there is because like I remember coming back after my junior year into my senior year and having people just tell me like, bro, you got so big. Like, what? You don't even look the same. And that just kind of encouraged me to like, okay, my reality is shifting into the residuals of my thoughts. And I was like, okay, things are actually coming together and things are like making sense. I can actually do this. I can apply this to anything in my life. And I understood that at a young age. So like at that young age, bro, like I had a golden era where I would just, and mind you, I kind of grew up in a very pampered home, which is I'm very grateful for. But also it's not too great to be pampered too much because when you go into the real world, things change. Nonetheless, I had food on the table every day. Laundry would be done for me. House would be clean. All I have to do is worry about cleaning my room sometimes. Bills paid, everything. I was extremely blessed. I'm blessed. I would have anything I want. And that gave me the free time to do. Also, I wasn't kind of an only child at home because my sisters left. Okay. I really had, like, my home was just a place where I could do anything I wanted. And like I said, I got obsessed with this law of attraction stuff. I got obsessed with the YouTube success realm. You know how people like will tell you wake up at 5 a.m., journal, read. But I took all of that seriously. Like I literally just took it seriously. So I would wake up at 4:30 sometimes, meditate, read, journal every day. I have 2 stacked journals. I would do literally all the habits that I need to do in order to reach my potential. And I did that for about 2 years.
Wow.
And then life came up, and then I met Chidi, and then that's kind of how things started, because I'm always striving for that ultimate growth. And I do remember, because I would, in my senior year of high school, I posted a lot of motivational content, I guess. I was just being myself. Like I would I'd go to the gym at like 5 a.m. and be like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing at 5 a.m.? I'm over here taking cold showers and going to the gym and cycling and shit. But people would call me, like, tell me I'm actually inspiring them to like go to the gym and stuff and actually live a more productive life. And I was like, that's really cool. And maybe that's my gift to humanity. Maybe that's like what I'm here for, is to inspire others to become the best version of themselves. And it really sat with me, and I was like, I think I can make something out of this. So then I met Chidi, and Chidi's a very strategic person. He's very strategic, very understanding of how to monetize things.
Okay.
So I think our energies just coming together. Oh, let me tell you that story of how we came together.
See, that he mentioned that. See, let's just pause real quick. That was just a lot real quick.
That was a lot.
It started from some random person. I mean, I don't believe random. I think everything's connected. So somebody at Steak and Shake, they came and they spoke a prophecy. They prophesized on you. You felt it. You manifested that. You started to, attract things. And then over the next 2-year course, it went from you being inspired to ultimately inspiring other people. And then that's when you realized, wait a minute, everything that I was thinking can be done. I can manifest, I can attract, and ultimately I'm inspiring other people to get out there and do the same thing. So you already had that flame building up. You didn't even realize it.
Yes.
Okay, and then, so Chidi, you said Chidi's real good at monetizing things? He was just good at finding a way to make...
He's a very analytical, strategic, and he's great at business analysis and things like that.
That's what we noticed, man. When we had him on here, it was no matter what we asked him, even if it was kind of the same question, he was really good at breaking it down in a different way. And by the end of it, I felt like I created the app. It was crazy, you know what I mean? But we were still missing you. So now your side comes in with Chidi. So now that we're up to speed on you, so all this was building the flame. So it was kind of subconscious. You didn't even realize that you were building up to something. You just looked back and said, holy shit, I got all the tools necessary to put it out there. And I'm guessing, so did you guys ultimately come together and say, hey, like, I like your skills, you like my skills, we could do something with this? Or did it just kind of...
Did he tell you how we came together, the graduation party?
He did not. He was...
Okay, I can explain that.
We knew we were going to have you on. Okay, great.
Okay, so Carson Shields, one of our friends, we're seniors in high school. We just graduated, graduation parties and whatnot, people going away. Carson invites Chidi and I to his party. First of all, I was like, should I even go? But now I was like, I'm gonna go. That's my boy. And then Chidi literally thought the same thing, which is so funny. But we both end up going, and this is a point in my life where I was working at Chick-fil-A my senior year for a year until like senior was over. And then I was like, bro, I gotta manifest another job. Like, I can't be working at Chick-fil-A no more. That's some of my pleasure. on some of my pleasure shit. But so I was like, and that's another way I manifested too. Just quick story. I literally I wanted a new job. I'm like, how can I do that? So I just kept asking people outside the window, the drive-through window, because that's my biggest position.
You were outside the drive-through window asking people for
not outside, the person that hands it back to the people in the drive-through window. So I'm just like, bro, are you do you have any job? Blah, blah, blah. I had a bunch of leads, and then I finally got one, and then I quit Chick-fil-A for this job. It's called New Ad Solutions, and what they did was basically business to business. They wanted me to be a marketing coordinator for business to business relations. Just quick story. So you would go into, let's say, a barbershop, and you see a TV in the corner of the room. That TV has a slideshow of other businesses. And it was basically building a network of advertising small businesses to each other.
Okay.
So my job was to get the hosts, the people that would actually put the TVs in there, and then get the people on the slideshows. That's their vision. That was their vision.
Did you create the slideshows, or you just coordinated?
I just got the B2B connections, the business to business connections, in order to facilitate that. Bro, that job was so hard. Really? I cried 2 times because I got so many rejections. Think about it. Going into a store, a small business store in Snellville. We're in Snellville, Georgia, everybody. In Snellville, all right? So people are...
Fuck it, let's just say Gwinnett altogether.
Yeah.
Because I know you went outside of Snellville.
No, because it was
just in
Snellville.
Oh, so the company was only operating...
No, the company was I think it was it's pretty large, but they wanted me to just...
they gave you Snellville. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I literally went into this one plaza one day, and they're about to tow my car. They called the cops on me because I was going to each store and just asking people if they want to be advertised with and all this shit. And
damn,
it was a hard job because I literally got rejected 99% of the time. But I didn't quit because I knew this was a test. I knew it was a test. I was like, this has to be a test. Because I'm a very spiritual person, so I'm conscious of the universe. This has to be a test. There's no way this is not gonna happen. Something good is not gonna happen out of this. So I just keep going with it. And then eventually I go into this gym called Just Fitness.
Okay.
Just Fitness for you. It's pretty close there. But I go in there, I give my pitch, and the manager's like, I like you. How much are they paying you? I was like, I think like 500 every 2 weeks. And he's like, how about 600 plus commission? I was like, you got yourself a deal. And then I literally watched The Wolf of Wall Street the night before. And you know how that scene where Jordan pulls up with like a nice car at the diner, and what's his name?
That one dude's like, I'll work for you right now.
Yeah. It was literally,
Shit, what was it, like 72,000 or something?
Yeah, it was literally like that. I watched that movie the night before I met that manager. So it was a sign. It was a sign.
That's what happened to you, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a
Wow.
sign. So I was like, okay, this has to be a sign. I'm gonna take this. So boom. I told you about my fitness journey, right?
Yeah.
I'm passionate about fitness. Now I'm selling fitness. I'm also passionate about selling. That's something I'm very passionate about.
That's so crazy that led up to that, and you didn't even plan that.
I didn't plan it. I'm telling you, the universe has its tricks. So now I'm working at Just Fitness as a sales representative, right? I have 2 coworkers with me, right? In 1 week, those two coworkers get fired, and I'm the only one there because he feels like I can produce more than they can combined. You know, I was like, what the hell? Okay. So yeah, I do my thing, bro. I literally rise to. There's 4 Just Fitnesses in Georgia. I rose to the 3rd in the company for sales in the 3rd week.
Oh my God! How many did you sell?
8. I think 18 in 2 weeks.
Jeez, dude, you sold the fuck out of that.
Yeah. So it was a combination of just being really passionate about fitness, as well as trying to provide that value. But bro, so I'm at Just Fitness, and then I get promoted to manager of sales, right? So, and I'm the only one working there, and this is about the time that I go to Carson's graduation party and meet Chidi.
Okay.
And bro, at this point, I'm literally obsessed with selling gym memberships. I'm literally, if I saw you,
you would try to pitch.
I would literally try to pitch you, bro. I literally would.
You want to know the craziest part?
What? Oh!
I put him onto that gym. I go there.
What? Yeah. I didn't want to say it. I wanted to just let you keep doing your thing. It's weird, right? The universe is weird.
We've been going there for years now.
And he put me on, right? And he's managing our audio right now. Think about that.
Oh my God. All right.
Keep going.
Right.
Keep going.
See, the universe has its tricks. But okay, so I literally was just pitching the whole entire time. This gym membership, like, bro, you trying to get swole? Come see me. Like, I got you. And then Chidi saw that. He was like, and we were just talking. And
wait, did you try to pitch him?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, you did?
Of course. And then we just got talking about stocks. I think Robinhood at the time. And then I think we just connected on like a business level, because like we're both very business-minded people. But he's like a different business-minded person. He's a very strategic, like, I'm just like, I want to like sell people, and I want to just like
put me in the room with them.
Yeah, I just want to have fun, like I have a lot of energy. And we met. Yeah, we talked about, we literally the whole entire time we were just talking, vibing on business. It's like we just talked about anything business. And then from there I was like, let me get you. He said he wanted a job for the summer, and I was like, okay, I can get you in. I'm the manager of sales at Just Fitness for you. Like, let's go. And then, bro, from there, productivity low-key went down at the gym.
Really?
Yeah, because, we were chatting it up, and we were, like, thinking of other business ideas.
Oh, my God. You're planning your escape.
Exactly. 2 weeks later, we tell my old boss, Lamar, we're like, bro, we got this really great idea. This is the conception of the idea came while we were working there. Chidi told me about it. And then, like, we just started, like, back and forth ping-ponging ideas. And then we're like, bro, we can't do Just Fitness no more. We got to dedicate. We're about to go to college. Like, this is something that just was a summer gig, and it was fun. I learned a lot. But we quit the gym, and then we got this new idea, and we're like so excited. We're pumping so much energy into it. So excited. But mind you, we're 18 years old. I'm 18. He's 19 at this point. So
here. Let's stop for 1 second, because you just overall described a crazy theme that always comes up on this show. It took you 3 to 4 years of someone telling you, prophesizing to you, inspiring you, you getting out there and bulking yourself up, later tying in with you doing sales, you meeting Chidi, you mastering sales, you and Chidi collaborating, Chidi's own story. It took years. What a lot of people don't realize is some moves take years. You got to grind it out, man. Whether it's a podcast, an app, you can't. And now we're talking 2.5 years from the point you're about to start talking about. So you're talking about 6 years behind the idea. People
Yeah.
don't like that, man. People
Yeah.
don't like that. They think that, you know what? If I don't push, I push for 2 months. I don't get the results I want. That's it. You know, it's not for me. Or they think that, oh, I've been going for a year. My album, my mixtape, whatever it is, it hasn't taken off. That's it. They stop believing in themselves. Do you think there's something vital there about the long process that it takes?
Yeah, I think something that cannot be taught is the entrepreneurial mindset. You know, it's either you have it or you don't. I know this is very cliche. You hear this all over the internet, but it's real. I mean, when you get like faced with reality of actually going through those hardships of your venture and you don't quit, I mean, it just gives you momentum to go on. But like that, those hardships are very hard. I've definitely contemplated on quitting before. Like it's not easy. Like it's hard as hell. Like
What was the mindset? What were some of the things that were you like, no,
Bro,
we're not going to do this.
something
We have to push.
Okay, something that really inspires me is Steve Jobs' commencement speech at Stanford.
I've never heard it. How exactly does it go?
I don't really know the exact quote, but basically he was talking about having the heart, knowing that your heart is going to bring you to the right decision. So don't ever lose sight of what your heart wants, even if things are going wrong. Because you can only connect the dots looking back. You can't connect them looking forward.
Wow.
All right. So you can only connect the dots looking back. So you must trust that your heart is going in the right place. All right. So that's something that always has pushed me. And the funny thing is, we went to Brookwood.
We did.
Yes.
Everyone keeps leaking that, but whatever. We went to Brookwood. Screw
Yes, we went to Brookwood.
Come kill us, right?
And they actually showed it to all the seniors, and I didn't even watch it
You
because
just found out.
I just found it later, and I just thought it was a little funny because like that's one of the most inspiring things I hear, just like having that heart. Just I might be going through some shit right now, but I know like for a fact that this is going to lead to something, you know. And I think that's what has given me the fire to, you know, always persevere and never give up.
Because you have that initial flame, and then you use the brain to facilitate, you know, the areas where we need to pivot, because you know where you're trying to go. You're connecting the dots looking back, and you have that flame. Do you think if someone doesn't have that flame that they can obtain it, or is it just like you said with the entrepreneurial skills, it's you have it or you don't? Because I think you can obtain anything in this world, you know. But
I definitely don't want to limit people's potential by saying it's you have it or you not. I just think some people need a lot more work.
Okay.
You know, need a lot more nurturing in terms of like failing. You get what I'm saying? And just like having those hardships that you go through, because you know I've gone through those rejections. I've gone through all of those rejections, so like they don't hurt me as much.
They called the cops on you, man. They're trying to tow your car.
Yeah, seriously.
Dude.
Seriously.
That's crazy.
So I think it's just like building up, like, you know, I can do this. And I did that again. I did that when I was 17, 18. So like I'm 20, I'm about to turn 21 in March. So, you know, I've been doing this for a while and I feel unstoppable. Absolutely.
All right. So we just covered the foundation, but the thing that a lot of people don't realize is you see a huge tower and, you know, it looks nice, and, you know, maybe there's a little bit of gold tipped at the very top, but the foundation underneath is not only the strongest part, but it's the most important part, because if you don't have a solid foundation, no matter how high you go, you can be knocked down at any time. So now that we got your foundation, it's a very inspiring foundation. What initially, you were about to get into it, I had to stop you. It was too powerful. The ball was rolling. It was getting too big. So you and Chidi, you guys quit. You guys said, fuck it. This is a waste of my energy at this point. Even though I'm succeeding. To someone else, that might have looked like success, man. You were the manager of a company that only has 4 areas, and you were ranking 3rd in all of those in the state. that's success. You know what I mean? I mean,
I
however
was
you want to.
making 1.8K every 2 weeks
Jeez,
as an 18-year-old.
part time, right?
No, it was, I've worked 40 hours.
40 hours.
Yeah.
Shit, dude, that's better than some people are making with an associates.
Yeah.
All right, so then you guys quit. You're done. You're about to go to college, and now we're back up to speed.
Okay. We're about to go to college. This is our freshman year. Okay, so bro, we literally, the thing is, we knew nothing about entrepreneurship. We're little kids at this point. We literally like, we have an idea. Okay, we have an idea, but we don't know the steps to execute it. So me and Cheetah are like, hey, what can we do to like move this forward? We're just, we have an idea. Oh, we need a coder. Like, where do we find one of those guys? And then I was like, oh, bro, I can find one. So I just keep asking random people, like, that's just me. I just know how to manifest things. Like, just keep asking random people, Will, do you know a coder? You know a coder? And the funny thing is, this is all connected to Berkeley. You know Samson?
Yeah.
Okay, so one day I come upon him, and I'm like, bro, you know some coding? And he's like, he said yes. I was like, okay, let's set up a meeting so we can talk about an idea I want to, implement. And then we meet up, things go well. He says like, I can try to code it, blah, blah, blah. And then we meet in Gwinnett County, and he brings a friend. His name is Isaiah.
Oh, we heard about Isaiah. Okay. I see where this is going. Chidi leaked a little information about Isaiah.
Yeah. So we got Isaiah in the building, and Isaiah is he's smart.
beast.
He's a smart lad. He's a very intelligent young man. He's been coding since he was like 5 years old. All right, so this kid's awesome, and he initially came to try to make fun of us, make fun of our idea.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Are we saying the same? Me and Chidi saying the same things? I don't want to.
No, you guys aren't. But you guys are definitely like, you guys are coming in and touching the same points, which is very interesting because
in a different way.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
like
okay.
I'd be very interested to listen to both of these back to back.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I kind of get to listen to them in my head because I'm here, but someone listening, because Chidi mentioned Isaiah, but he presented him differently.
Okay.
He talked about him. I don't even want to jump in.
Yeah. Okay. So Isaiah comes along and he's like, I'm gonna make fun of this idea, blah blah blah, because he's kind of arrogant. But we meet at McDonald's, and we tell him about the idea, and I think he kind of liked it. So he decided to start working with us as a contractor. Codes are proof of concept website, which is basically like a proof of concept, like, this is what we want to do in the future. And it looks like a nice website. It's functional. It has the features that we want. Not all of them, but the main feature.
What you need.
Yeah, what we need. And we're like, what do we do after this? Me and Chidi, we're really just like, so we're like, maybe we should interview some people to see like what they want. So bro, like, we basically did customer discovery.
Okay.
All right. So we would, I think this is how we did it. I was a freshman. We were freshmen at this point still. So we just basically wrote questions on a paper and like yes or no responses, and just asked people to fill it out. That was our first round of customer discovery. They weren't the best questions either, but literally, bro, like we just went up there and like did like 50 to 100 people. You know what I'm saying? I did like 50 in one day. Like,
Jesus.
And the crazy thing is, I lived in Gwinnett County. Excuse me. My freshman year, and I drove all the way to Atlanta just to do that customer discovery, like just to ask 50 people. And I didn't even have class that day.
So you just drove there and you still ran up 50 people.
Yes, for like 3 hours.
Jeez.
I would just walk towards student center, all the halls, just like, hey, can you fill this out? Hell, you can fill this out. Like, that was just my mentality. I gotta get this shit done. You know what I'm saying?
Were you surprised to see how many people were actually willing to fill it out? Or was it the opposite where you had to kind of work people into filling it out?
It was, they were cool with it.
They're cool?
Yeah, they were cool. They just asked what it was for. I was just like, we're building an app. And they were
Okay.
like, oh, that's super cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, people say that and stuff. So we did that for a little bit, and we did not do it properly at all. It was again, we were really young at this point. We didn't know what we were doing. And we tried beta testing or alpha testing our proof of concept website. Didn't work out too well. We kind of failed. I had no retention on the users, and the app wasn't even that great at that moment. So at this point, Inspire kind of takes a little stagnation as we just need the resources and education on how to like scale this shit, you know?
Okay.
Because we're two young kids. You know, what things that we're doing, just asking professors if we can talk to them, stuff. Gave some insight, but not as much as we could. And then I joined a fraternity. Shout out to Pi Delta Psi. Shout out to the boys. And from there, the thing is that's so great about when I joined Greek life is the colony, it's a colony, so it was just starting out. Literally, it started, I think, 1 year before I joined.
Okay, so it's still at its base.
I was the beta class, basically.
Okay.
So I was literally like
First pledge class.
First pledge class,
Second,
literally. Or second, yeah. And all the alphas were like seniors, juniors. So I had the benefit of being a freshman, second semester freshman, and joining a fraternity where they, you know, can mentor me and teach me the ropes of college because they're all upperclassmen. I had that benefit, you know, it was great. And I got close to one of my bros. His name is Josh Kwan. Josh put us on to something called Launch GSU. It's our on-campus student incubator at Georgia State University. And from there, our sophomore year, fall semester, that became our home.
Wow.
I literally stayed, I stayed there 95% of the time when I'm on campus. It's literally my second home on campus. And it's a community, it's a beautiful community of people who are just creating their own businesses. We network. The thing is, Launch GSU is on-campus student incubator, and our advisor, Erica Bracey, or Miss Bracey as we call her, it has connections to the actual entrepreneurial program, which is called E&I. So one day, they were having pitch competition, drawing, trying to pick like a company to pitch for this thing called Georgia Adventure.
To fund, ultimately.
Yeah, to find funding.
Okay.
To pitch your business in your pitch practice and also like try to like actually obtain something.
So this was after being stagnant. You guys were like, you know what, we might as well pitch it and see if we can get more resources, considering that we're part of this new environment now. That's
Exactly.
entirely based off of helping people that are trying to launch businesses.
Precisely.
How perfect.
Precisely. So get into that environment, and she literally said, I put your company's name in a hat, and they drew you. I'm like, okay, cool. So we go over there, 3 teams, we all pitch, we win the initial like entry competition to like see who goes to the actual competition. All right. From there, it's called the Georgia Adventure pitch competition. It was the first. Usually, it's only hosted by Georgia. It's hosted by Georgia Tech, and only Georgia Tech students can enter. But now this one, it was basically one where every single university had one team where they would send.
Okay.
And we were the team that represented Georgia State.
Jeez. Yo,
Yeah.
You guys were the one team that represented the entire Georgia State.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
It was pretty cool. It was really surreal.
Wow.
So we, that gave us a little kick in the butt, like some momentum, whatnot. We go through it, and we didn't win, but that's all part of the process. We learned a lot. We pitched, and we had fun. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, we were more connected to E&I, the entrepreneurial space, not the entrepreneurial like faculty at Georgia State. And from there, staying connected with them, we would get more resources, more understanding of what's coming up in terms of that could help us. We just kind of piggyback off that and got some more stuff.
Okay. So is that where you guys are at now?
Can I pee? I gotta pee so bad, bro.
Oh, yeah, you can.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Whew. I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, this is the first time we're having this. I guess I'm going to just have an intermission. So for everybody listening, we've been doing a lot. We've been having a lot of people on. And I guess starting 2020, now that, we are starting 2020, the goal really is to diversify. You know, it when you come to listen to a timeshare, it doesn't matter what your sexual identity is, what your personal identity is, what you feel like you reside with. If you're a human being that has feelings, that can breathe, and that can use their brain at any function, and is inspired to get out there and say, you know what, I think I have more within me. Not necessarily because, hey, you know, I've seen something happen or I've tried something out, but just because I'm sick and tired of living the same life. I'm sick and tired of thinking that the only thing I can amount to is just to wake up, to go to some job that I don't even want to work at, even if that is something that you went and strived for and got a degree with. And it's just kind of what Tim was saying. You feel stagnant right now. What we're trying to do is, well, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a space that turns out to be bigger than any of us, that is bigger than anything that anyone has tried to do before, not because of anything I'm doing, but because of the people that we're having on. Because that is allowing people like myself, people that are watching, to see that not only are certain qualities consistent when you want to be successful, but there is a journey. There's a journey to be found. This isn't just night and day. It's not 1 year. It's not 1 month. It takes time. And you know, that's not necessarily always true, because there are some success stories that are overnight, and that's great. That's kind of the thought that feeds all of us to keep pushing the next day. But shooting for this new year is to diversify and just to let everybody know that they are welcome into a space where they can ultimately intellectually collaborate. And now we're back. Oh, I'm gonna have to mute the shit out of that. All right.
Yes, we are back.
We are back. All right, so you led us all the way up until where you guys launched, or not launched, but you guys went to the launch GSU. You guys won the entry level. You guys went against a bunch of different colleges in, you know,
In a pitch competition, yeah.
in a pitch competition. You guys did lose, but it was ultimately allowing you guys to network way more at Launch GSU and find out that, hey, we have all the tools we need. So now it's just about our direction. So now where do we go?
Okay, so
If you just want to bring it down a little, there we go. All right.
Okay, so we are after the pitch competition. We're not winning. This is where I think this is our end of sophomore year, and this is where a little bit of stagnation comes as well. Another period of little stagnation, and this is probably the part where, you know, like, it was actually like, damn, are we actually going to continue this? You know, we were actually just brainstorming other ideas just because we were just bored, trying to have like some fun. And that spark wasn't there until we had a talk with all of the co-founders, because we do include Isaiah as a co-founder because he helped really build Inspire. So we had a talk with all the co-founders, and it was one of those talks where, you know, shit gets real, and you're like, I'm gonna call you out. We all called each other out. We all talked our shit, and we all agreed to move forward in a productive, positive manner. We needed that talk. It was just Chidi, Isaiah, and I, like 2 hours of conversations talking.
Constructive criticism. Right.
Constructive criticism.
As collaborators.
Bluntly. Very blunt.
Jeez. I would have loved to have been there.
So yeah, it was something we needed. And from there, I think just like Chidi knew what he had to do in order to, you know, make the company where it needs to be. I knew what I needed to do at that point as well. Isaiah as well did know, but the thing is, Isaiah, he was working at a book company, and they were giving him a lot of money. So after that talk, I mean, like a month and a half, he's like, bro, I can't do this anymore. So he left.
He got a job, right? That's what Chidi
Yeah,
told us. Making
yeah.
50 an hour,
Yeah, 50 an hour.
93 grand a year.
We're here. We got the momentum back up. This is junior year. You know, right before junior year starts, I'm moving out of my house into Atlanta. And a lot of big changes are happening at this point. And momentum is starting to build up again. And this is literally like 6 months ago, 5-6 months ago, right? We're taking our first major classes. Both of our majors are entrepreneurship. And we have a lot of great professors, a lot of people holding us accountable. And we also got into something called the Main Street Entrepreneurship Grant. And this is from Georgia State University, funded by the Marcus Foundation. They granted us $5,000 as well as mentors to help us with our product. All right. So we're starting off the year with these entrepreneurship classes as well as this grant and the mentorship from the grant and the mentorship from our professors. So we're like, bro, we literally
Fresh start.
like, yeah, like this is the momentum starting to build again. And there's a fresh start coming. We're getting a lot of help.
And we got money.
And we got money.
We got money, man.
Exactly. So things are slowly riding. And that moment when Isaiah quit, you know, it was like, it was a bump in the road, but it didn't stop us. You know, like we're not just gonna like, you know, we're not just gonna sit here with hands in our pants and just like not do anything.
Okay.
Like let's just pivot. Lots of pivots come at this point. This is when, in these 6 months, NspireMe grew more than all of like the whole lifetime of NspireMe. These past 6 months, we've literally pivoted so much.
Isn't it interesting how when you guys had your main coder leave, you guys got a little bit of money? So it was almost like, hey, don't worry. Like the universe was like, hey, don't worry. Here's a little bit of funds because you're going to need them now that you lost somebody that, you know, whose position requires, you know, some money. I mean, no matter what coder you have, they're not going to code for free unless it's one of you two, you know?
Exactly.
So, okay.
So Isaiah leaves and we're like, we gotta move forward. What can we do? And at this point, we're being taught the fundamentals of entrepreneurship, which is very concise. It's customer discovery, build an MVP, which is a minimal viable product, test that product market fit in your potential target market. If that fits, then you have a problem that can be solved. So we are currently in the phase where we pivoted a lot. We did our customer discovery rounds. Again, we redid it, and we actually did it properly this time. So we go up to people, hey, do you have 5 minutes for an interview? What is it for? Oh, it's just for a class project. You know, don't even tell them it's an app. It's for a class project. Can I record it on my phone? Record it on their phone and get like 5-10 a day, and then just put it in a database and getting that data and picking up the trends in that data and
Start to see correlations
and seeing how we can tailor our app to meet this market's needs. You know what I mean? So we're starting with college students. That's our target market right now. And it's really just because it's convenient to us as college students as well. So we do our customer discovery rounds, and we see like, I definitely can see that a product like ours would fit in this market. Chidi saw it too, and we're like, all right, so let's build an MVP. But we don't have a coder, you know what I'm saying? So let's find some coders. And then from there, we're like, we found 2 people, but they weren't, you know, like as
up to speed as Isaiah.
Yes, because Isaiah is very smart, but like they have school too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They can't dedicate, and they came in this late in the game. You know, they didn't start with us, so they don't know the fundamentals of us. So we had to catch them up. We had to like say what we want. So things are getting a little hectic. At the same time, they're moving fast. We learn in class something called sales funnels, which I really love. They're really fun. So sales funnels are basically, if you see an Instagram ad, that's a sales funnel. So it promotes awareness. That's on the top of the funnel. Decision, are they going to decide to click on it? Action, and then from there, purchase or not. And then they go into a pipeline. So we're like, why don't we build a funnel for something so we can just test our product? We already see this customer discovery data, and we already see that things are working out. I mean, things could be fitting, but let's test it with like an MVP. But we don't have a coder, so you know, let's just bootstrap it. Let's just do it ourselves. So we come up with this idea to make goal plans, and these goal plans are just literally going to our website, and you fill up a couple questions about what do you want to prioritize, and then 3 incremental steps towards that will get you to that prioritization or goal, and then why you want to, because the why is very important. And then from there, that goes to our team, and we say, how can we help this person? What resources can we get to help this person achieve their goals? So if it was an inspiring model, we could say, hey, let's find local GSU photographers who did Chidi say this example?
I don't think he did. No.
Okay. Let's find local GSU photographers who, do freelancing photography. Let's get their price points a little lower, so because they're coming through us. And let's contact an organization on campus that can help her with her modeling talent. Let's also find some blogs or digital media that could help her as well, tutorials of how to walk. So just curating resources for her to actually take those steps to reach that goal. And then from there, we give her the accountability each week to make sure she's making her goal progress.
Your photographer.
No, the model.
Oh, the model who's trying to get in touch with the photographer that you guys linked up via a discount rate.
Yes, that's
Okay.
just an example of one resource.
One resource. Okay.
So from there, that was the initial thought. And then from there, we kind of refined it. So now it goes, they fill out their goal plan on our landing page. Our team analyzes it, and we contact them, try to get them on a call in order to get more context behind their goal and find out, what are some obstacles that you're facing, what are resources you have already, just getting more context. And then from there, creating an action plan or a goal plan that we call a 4-week sprint because it's for 4 weeks. And each week has its own objective towards that goal. And we try to keep them accountable and provide them the resources to reach all those goals.
Okay.
I think we have about 14 users at the moment.
Okay. But you guys started off with 25.
Started with 20.
20. And so the serious people are 15?
14.
14? Okay, so are you guys, at the phase where you're doing the work, you're getting out there, you're realizing that this does work? Because, Jesus, man, at the launch event, there was like over 150 people at least.
Yes.
So there's people who are interested. I'm interested. The people watching are interested. Because what better than, let's be real, man. Society is set up to negatively benefit us and somewhat to positively benefit us. And one of those things is that we don't have to put in as much work. So with an app like yours, I can set a goal. I can have someone else kind of go in there and critique it. And then I don't got to put in the work. I'm constantly reminded. I'm constantly pushed in the direction.
Nah, it's not like you don't have to put in the work.
You have to put in the actual work, but you don't. I feel like what happens is people, they set a plan, but they don't think about all the little things they got to do in between. They're just like, oh, I want to get ripped. Oh, I want to do this. They don't realize, all right, you got to fit your diet, your training.
One of our customer discovery findings on college students are they set a lot of long-term goals, but they don't know how to break those goals down into the short incremental steps that you're talking about. Yeah.
How are we actually going to do this?
Yeah, everybody's a dreamer, but how do you actually get the steps done in order to achieve those goals? And that's what our app will solve, is what steps, breaking down those steps, as well as providing accountability, resources, and organizational tools.
Okay. I asked Chidi this, right? And his take on this was really interesting. And I feel like you're going to have the same take. Are you guys ultimately shooting to create an app that allows people to reach their goal and take off from there? Or are you guys trying to make an app where people can use you for the rest of their life? No matter what goal they're setting, no matter what opportunity they're trying to get to, overcome an obstacle, anything. Are you guys trying to become like the brain of a lot of people's operations? Or are you guys just trying to kickstart people to get to their goal?
I would say we want lifelong customers.
That's what Chidi said.
We want people who can go to NspireMe and see all of their personal data that they've collected from themselves, and using that data to drive help make their goals more efficient. So let's just say that you do most of your task in the morning. It will remind you we'll maybe have an AI machine that will remind you to bunch your tasks in the morning because you're most productive in the morning, and you like reading at night. Things like that, using your own data to benefit you.
So the logistics, what are you actually gonna do? It's not, it's fun to sit here and shoot the shits, but what are you really gonna do and how are you gonna do it? Okay, so it's almost that's crazy, man. I could definitely see myself using that.
Yeah, we definitely want people. It's a lot. The target market is hard right now. We just want to, have a niche of college students because we want to just test it with a small niche. But we're beginning to meet more people that are telling us like we need to gather more data in other markets and see like what traction we get in those markets, because we're getting okay traction in the college community, but I really think if we test different markets, we'll see different traction. Things might go better.
Speaking of different markets, Chidi told us that you guys have something coming up where you guys are going to go not to repitch, but almost go on to the next stage where if you guys do pitch and you guys get chosen, you guys get more money and you guys rise the rank in this program that you guys are in.
So I mentioned the Main Street Entrepreneurship Seed Fund. This was granted to 21 teams, and a bunch of I think 120 teams applied. They broke it down. It only shows 21 teams. Those 21 teams got money. Got money, and they're just going to showcase what they've been doing, the milestones that have been reached on February 27th, I believe.
Okay.
And it's just a demo day where, what have you been doing? What progress have you been making? Are you worthy of more money or more resources to be invested into your company? That's what it is.
So you guys are going to bring forth what you have been doing, and ultimately they're going to see if they want to fund you more or not. Now, see, Chidi also mentioned that unfortunately they're really mainly looking for revenue. Does that bother you?
A little bit, because at the moment we aren't revenue generating at all right now. We're more like alpha testing, and if they are looking at revenue generating, I'm just gonna be blunt. We're not gonna win.
But the potential.
But it's the potential that really is what we are. But the thing is, people don't, potential is it's a word that's thrown around a lot. And in the business world, it's not something they want numbers,
They want you to be kinetic, they want you to be doing things.
But we have been doing things, and we're ramping up our operations. We have 14 members in our Inspire Tap program. Hopefully have 50 members by the end of February, and we're going to start revenue generating in February.
So you guys will have a month before you get to the main pitch. Okay. I mean, to be honest, man, if they see that you guys were able to get a team, break the team down to the people who are legit, so from 20 to 14, and then those 14 people retained, they went through you guys this program, and then they paid the $5, right? What's going to be? Don't you think that would be good enough, though? Because it would show them that, hey, the strategy we're using is working. And maybe it's not on the scale that you guys want. Maybe the numbers aren't there, but the potential's there. Because, geez, man, there's a lot of apps out here. There really is. And I'm not even going to be biased because, you're right in front of me and we're talking. But, that's a really good idea. I would use that. I'm telling you straight up, not because I know you, not because I know Chidi, but because, who doesn't want to be reminded for their goals? What? That doesn't even make sense. And obviously, the app's going to be free, right? Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah,
who doesn't want to be pushed in the right direction constantly? It's like an alarm on your phone.
Yes. So we're just going to show them our progress. And I do believe that if we present it, what we've been doing in a concise manner, and say, these are our projections, this is how many people are paying for this service, I think it can go well.
It will go well.
It will go well.
All right. So, you know what? Let's break it down into two different not segues, but two different roads, right? Let's say you guys do win, and let's say you guys don't win, because knowing you, the energy is going to stay the same. What are the plans going forward? Obviously, it'd be nice to get more funding, but let's say that doesn't even happen. I know you guys got plans in store. What is your take for the new year, the 2020? What can the people be on the lookout for? And ultimately, how can people get involved?
Okay, so if we don't win, then it's not going to stifle our progress too much, because the initial foundation has been built and established. These Inspire cohorts are what we're doing. These Inspire Tap cohorts are what we're doing. The money would literally just help expedite the process.
Okay.
But from there, just searching for more pitch competitions and showing them our actual traction. And we are in touch with some angel investors, Planning to have an angel round in the next 6 to 8 months. Raise about a good sum of money. So either way, I think it will end up the way it's supposed to.
Jeez, man. We're excited to see. I'm super excited to see. Damn, man. Well, believe it or not, man, we've been going for about an hour.
No.
Yeah. Believe it or not, it hits everybody the same way. Look, man, everybody that's watching this, no matter who they are, they're coming here because they want to be inspired. They want positive reinforcement to see that, you know what? Through having people like yourself on, they get to see that not only are there multiple traits and skills that are needed to get somewhere, habits that you got to put in your life constantly to be successful, but ultimately that anyone can get out here and do what they want to do. Ultimately, anybody can get out here and be successful. So everybody watching this right now, man, they support you. So if you just want to go ahead and shout out all the Instagram pages, the InspireMe pages, your personal pages, how people can get in touch with you personally, and ultimately interface with InspireMe.
Absolutely.
This is the
So
space.
y'all can give me a follow at Timothy Sok, TimothySok on Instagram. DM me there if you want anything. I'm definitely down to help you guys. If you guys want to be part of the Inspire Taps program, we're accepting cohort members for February. And we really stress that we just want to help you guys achieve your goals. You know, go to our landing page at staymotivated.me, sign up for a goal plan. And also follow us on Instagram at NspireMe.io. It's spelled with an N. NSPIRE ME.io. And you know where to find me if you have any questions. I'd love to answer them. I'd love to hang out with whoever wants to be better.
Well, hey, man, this has been a pleasure having you. You know, you're the type of person that we had in mind from the beginning, and I'm really glad that we were able to make this happen. But you know what? I'm Charbel Milan. We got
Tim Sok.
It's been a time shared. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, buddy.
Absolutely.